Happy Saturday, Sky Squad. We are back in the building and the bells are ringing for season 2, episode 5, Fresh Starts and Lady Parts. P. Okay. So we're gonna be talking about Belle Collective, y'all. We got to do the recap. Hopefully, you guys all enjoyed the interview with Miss Marie Monroe from yesterday. And if you haven't had a chance to check that out, definitely go back and check that out because she dives all the way in, okay? In on a couple of topics, okay? So be sure to check that out in case you missed that. Now, this is again, we are at episode 5. Okay, we are at episode 5, and we do know that the reunion has already filmed. So, my guess is that we probably are going to get about 8 or 9 episodes. I'm wondering, I'm thinking. So, I feel like we're halfway through the season. I do have a complaint, okay, about this season thus far before I get into it. Everybody's still in the same confessional look. I need multiple confessional looks for these ladies. I don't care if it's 6 episodes. I don't care if it's 8 episodes. I don't care if it's 10 episodes. Every 2, 3 episodes, I need different confessional looks, okay? It's part of the glamour of the shows. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the magic of the television. Please, definitely, Carlos, own more confessional looks for next season, okay? More confessional looks. Thank you very much. All right. Even if they're filming it on the same day, have them change clothes, okay? Have them change clothes. Thank you. Yes, please do not forget to hit that like button as you enter the chat, baby, because we need those likes. All right. So, you know, let us know where you're watching from in the chatterization. I see we got Chicago in the building. We got B More. We got Oklahoma. I see y'all. I see y'all St. Louis. Okay. Super excited that you guys are back so we can recap this episode. We got Virgin Islands in the building. I see you. I see you. I see you. Who else? Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Come on through. Come on and let us know where you're watching from. Yes, Missouri. We got New York City's in the building. Who else is up in here on this good Saturday morning? Okay. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. And we thank you for it. We thank you for it. We got California's in the building. Let's rate this episode on a scale of 1 through the 10. I'm gonna give this episode a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 because I felt like we kind of really needed this episode of feel good, especially from the perspective of Latrice and Marie. We got some feel good moments from them, but we also got some tea being spread amongst the group. We got some tea being spread, and the tea that's being spread is mostly regarding Tambra and her man, okay, Mr. Demond. All right. And we got a real intense conversation with Latesha and Tambra that I just thought was very, very, very interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So let's dive in. Okay. Let's stage dive in. All right. Oh, I'm also taking away a little bit of a point from this 10. I mean, from giving it a 10 because I feel like this is what I feel like. I feel like Soguchi, we have not gotten any of her personal story as of yet. To me, this is what it feels like. It feels like Soguchi was invited to maybe be a friend initially. And then somewhere along the way, maybe towards the end of the season, that, oh, we need to bring her on full time. Because we really don't get a lot of Soguchi, if you notice. And I feel like what they realized maybe later on was, oh, we need to make her maybe something happens later on that we get more of, or maybe they just realize, oh, her husband is also JJ, from the I think it's the Dancing Dolls, y'all say it was. I don't know what happened, but it feel like for the first 5 episodes, we ain't really got a lot about who Soguchi is on a personal front. And yeah, it right now is giving good friend of, and it's not giving full time, but it's also because we ain't got that package of her yet. You know what I'm saying? That what's going on with your family dynamic? What's happening in your personal life with your husband? All we have seen her do is kind of come in, give a one-liner at the events, and that's really about it. Okay. That's really about it. So we got to just wait and see. Hopefully, we'll get some more of Soguchi next week. But based on the preview, it didn't seem like it. Okay. Just keeping it all the way 100% for real and funky. All right. Now, let's start the episode off, because we start the episode off with Latesha and Marie heading over to this place called Body Party, okay? Apparently, this is where you can go and get the cooter steamed, detoxed, and get you some wine. And in case you don't know what cooter means, I'm just going to have to let you leave it up to your context clues if you didn't see the episode. But because this is the YouTube and we must use family-friendly terms, cooter will be the term that I use for the lady parts, okay? So you go get your cooter detoxed and steamed up. And we learned that Marie is having a rebirth day party, okay, for her family and close friends. Latesha is still sad that the woman will not be coming to any more brunches, okay? And Latesha also misses Glenn and her family, but she says she is at peace, yet a bit uncomfortable at her mama house. Now, Marie, we learned, is celibate, and the cooter cleanse is giving her some feels, okay? And so we learn that she is celibate, but she has spent some time recently with Cedric, the singer, okay? We'll talk about Cedric, the singer, in a minute. But he's still a serial cheater, okay? And she feels like she had to pay the price for working so hard, meaning she was working to build her empire. Meanwhile, she alleges that he was hooking up with the call girls all over the United States, okay? The call girls. Yeah, the cooter was cootering, okay? The cooter was cootering, all right? I would tell y'all a funny story, but I'm gonna save it because it don't have nothing to do with what we talking about. It does, but it doesn't. But I'll tell y'all about it later. Anyway, so okay, Tambra stops by. It's a different scene. Tambra stops by to visit her mom and dad, and Damon, the man of the hour, stops by too. Now, apparently, Damon and Tambra's parents have also had their own relationship with Tambra. Now, I gotta be once again honest with you guys. So when I went down to the Mississippi, to the Jackson for the press day, I had a lot of conversations with Tambra. And the reason I did was because, number one, she is very friendly. She is very, just bubbly personality. And she's in radio. So I felt like a bond just coming from the media space in general. And we just talked at length about that. And she's somebody I could talk to for hours. I purposefully did not ask about Damon. Damon was not at the press day. So I chose not to ask anything about it because I wanted to see how this plays out on the show. Now, a part of me regrets not asking her about it because to date, I still don't understand the nature of this relationship. If you understand it, please let me know. It feels to me as though she and Damon have had some sort of on again, off again friendship / relationship. And that's been going on for maybe the past 16, 17, 18, 19, I don't know however many years, okay? But there seems to be no real um label on the relationship, which is fine because the kids these days, okay, the kids these days dates any and everybody they choose to, as they please, as they wants to. And so I feel like let people live and whatnot. But in this instance, I need to know what y'all are, because there is a woman out there named Taisha, the decorator, who is saying she has an emotional relationship with this man. But is you and this man together? Okay. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Somebody tell me. All right. Okay. They talk about the doctor's appointment in case they want kids. All right. They talk about marriage with, Tambra's parents. Tambra's parents do give the blessing for Damon to perhaps marry Tambra. We'd also learned that Tambra lost her grandmother over the past year. She actually lost her grandmother, while she was in the hospital recovering from one of her surgeries. And my eyes my eyes started to sweat a little bit. They did. I ain't gonna even lie. A little thug tear started to almost roll down my cheek, because I just think about losing my own grandparents, and it's just a thing that just it never leaves you. So anyway, let me move on before I get to my eyes get to sweating again. And so anyway, she does want to go over to her grandmother's house before the parents sell it or whatever. All right. Now, Marie in her Versace pants meets up with Essie at one of their facilities. All right. They discuss some business going on with one of the 5 methadone clinics that they are opening. And apparently, Cedric called her about one of the locations. I don't know why. I don't actually know what Cedric does either. But anyway, Essie still thinks the man is toxic. Likely inclined to agree with Essie, because she seems like one of the most reasonable people on the show. Okay. Um, and I loved all the ladies, but based on the way she kind of describes the situation with Cedric and Marie, Essie to me feels like the most, just a logical person. All right. So anyway, Marie says they're trying to move forward and have a healthy relationship for the family. And Essie then lets her know, girl, I met up with Latrice, and Latrice gave her somewhat of an admission, allegedly, okay, to being a part of a discussion about getting information about Marie. All right. And so Essie says Latrice don't want to talk about it no more. Marie don't want to talk about it no more. She just wants to move forward, but she still don't trust Latrice, but she feels like at least they can coexist. I do wonder what happens at the reunion. We'll see. We'll see. Because Carlos made the reunion sound explosive. So I'm waiting to see what happens. All right. But for right now, they can coexist. Anyway, we learned that Marie's health is improving, so they're going to celebrate a rebirth. And Essie says that she also invited Latrice. And Marie is like, girl, you getting ahead of yourself. All right. But they say that no weapon formed against them prospered. So they are happy to move forward. Okay. So anyway, Tambra stops by Akisha's house, scaring the baby with her loud cackle. Okay. The baby get to crying, and apparently Tambra, along with everybody else on the cast, missed Akisha's baby's birthday. Okay. Tambra says she ain't had the address. Okay. Now it's very difficult for me to believe that Akisha, seemingly being as thorough as she is, about invitations and events, would have neglected to put the address on the invitation. But if Tamara says she didn't have the address, who am I to say she didn't? Okay. Anyway, Tambra doesn't know if Akisha is invited to Marie's rebirth party, so she ain't gonna mention it today. Now, Akisha does let Tambra know that Latesha was doing a lot of digging about Mr. Damon, okay? And it may have been some insinuations that he's talking to somebody now. Now, I did feel like I knew that Akisha was going to relay this information back to Tambra. Do I think she did the right thing in doing so? Yes, because if that's my friend, I'm going to alert her to what may be possibly going on and the talk that may be going on about you and your man around the town, because that's just how I roll. I mean, if you come to me and you start asking questions about my friend, I'm going to go directly to my friend and let them know something's afoot, okay? Because that's just how we do, right? Okay? For real. For real. That's just how we do. I had a situation like that happen just this week, but I won't get into it here. Anyway, um, and it was a different situation, but it was a situation nonetheless. Anyway, so for Tambra, she is confused because she's spoken to Latesha, and Latesha has said nothing to her about any of this. And she doesn't believe that there's any other woman out there, but she does say you never know, a woman could be out there crushing on your man and never even know it. Okay. Um, the next thing we see is the rebirthday party for Marie. Everybody heads to Shaggy's on the river. Okay. And Essie arrives first to set up, followed by Latesha and then Tambra. Tambra says she is not going to bring up what Akisha told her today, but we still going to talk about it anyway. Soguchi arrives, throwing a little shade here and there. So far we just getting the one-liners from her, and I'm like, why? Why is this? Anyway, Marie arrives with her mom, and her mom, who I love, okay? Because I love when someone is open about what they are going through. And her mom is so open about going through, her addiction and how badly the facilities are needed that Marie is opening. And Marie starts talking about forgiveness, and she's an eagle and she wants all the ladies to soar and fly the friendly skies. Okay, not with Southwest, but fly the friendly sky, and not with Spirit. Fly the friendly sky and not with Frontier. Fly the friendly skies and just soar together. And as soon as she starts talking about flying with the eagles and not the birds, in walks Latrice and Melanie. And what do you know? Marie and Latrice greets each other like they have been BFF since high school, baby. You would have thought, the way they wrapped each other in the warm embrace, you never would have thought that they had gotten to arguing over 2 episodes ago and left Marie stomping out of the men's room after that argumentation, okay? They just greet each other in the spirit of love, in the spirit of holiness, in the spirit of just the goodness of the Lord. Okay. And Latesha has just died in her seat because she don't understand, how did this get turned around so fast? And Tambra is left wondering, I know I won't end last episode, but what happened here? Okay. And so Latrice reveals that Essie invited her, and everybody's feeling good. And Marie feels like they're all boss women, and she wants them to stick together. And the next thing you know, in walks Cedric the entertainer. No. Do I mean the comedian? No. I mean Cedric the singer, okay? Because what we learned, and maybe we knew it last season and I just forgot, but Cedric is the song master, okay? Cedric is the singer. Cedric makes the women's weak in the knees when he starts opening his mouth and singing songs of sweet nothing. And by nothing, I mean nothing, because apparently he's a serial cheater, okay? But anyway, he sings nonetheless. But anyway, before I get to the singing, okay, Latesha has died again in her seat because she just can't believe Cedric has showed up. So anyway, Marie announces that yes, infidelity can tear a family apart. Yes, Cedric, you cheated on me. And she says it in front of this whole group of women. Yes, you allegedly was with the call girls. Yes, you created a mess out of our family. Yes, you is foul and no good and good for nothing. Yes, you did all of this to me. You was wrong. You did me wrong. Okay, in my Nene voice. However, you know what? I want to thank you because let me tell you what this man who mistreated me did for me last week. Okay. He contacted a therapist who was able to get me in to have some treatment for my lupus, and I have been free from the medicine ever since. And I said, well, won't God do it? God will use a mess, okay, and send you a message and bring you some peace. Look at that. Okay. Look at it. All right. But that ain't enough. Okay. That ain't enough. Because Cedric did not just come for a visit. No. Cedric came to perform. Cedric came to open up his mouth and sing the words of praise and happy birthday to Marie, making Marie's loins just ready and ripe for whatever he got to sing about. Okay. And Essie is looking off to the side with her side eye because she know that man know just what to do. So he get to singing and making and whispering sweet nothings up in Marie's ear. And then he says, peace out. That's how, I mean, for real, when you want to try to win somebody back, that's what you do. You show up at their event, you go sing them a song, you whisper sweet nothings in their ear, and then you leave them wanting more. SEC right through his BS. And she is like, good riddance, get on out of here, bye. We see you for who you are. We see each other, Cedric. You are a smooth talking, you are a smooth criminal, as Michael Jackson would say, a smooth criminal. And by criminal, I don't mean committing no crimes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We talking love crimes, okay? Love crimes. So anyway, so Tambra asks, why ain't none of y'all go to Akisha party? Okay, I know I didn't go either, but why didn't y'all go? Okay, because she felt a certain type of way. And Latesha said, well, girl, my hamster died. It's not funny. But the way she said it, it was like, is that really your excuse for why you didn't go to the girl baby party? And so Gucci is like, well, I don't know. To me, Akisha came off very corny the way she came at the brunch, acting all bougie and whatnot. Yes, crimes of passion, love crimes. Okay, and so anyway, Latesha goes in and says, apparently Akisha called some of the girls ugly. Okay, when I say ugly, I mean UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You are ugly. Okay. So I don't know who she called ugly. I don't know who told her she called the girls ugly. I don't know if it was the Pelahatchie posse. I don't know if it was the Pelahatchie producer, or I don't know if it was Tambra. But apparently, Latesha is not feeling Miss Akisha right now because somebody has told her that she called the ladies at the brunch the ugly. Okay. So the producer then asked Tambra if Akisha did in fact talk ish about the other ladies, and Tambra is like, ooh, eek, ak, ook, ak, eek, ak, ain't saying a word, okay? Ain't saying a word. So now we know she did, okay? Or at least we can logically assume that she did. And since Tambra is her friend, she is not going to say. But it doesn't matter because somebody already told Latesha. Meanwhile, Latesha goes in and says that Akisha's mouth is way dirtier than any plate that she's claimed was dirty at her brunch. And Akisha is no longer welcome at the table. And Tambra, you can relay this message as clearly as you can. Okay, I said Latesha was not playing today. Okay, Latesha came in and she was a storm. Okay. Latesha was not playing at all. All right. She said, you could tell your friend I said it just like that. Okay. Um, Marie, we learned, ain't here for Akisha either at this point. So then Latesha pulls Tambra off to the side, because they need to have a ponderosa. And she tells her, well, listen, girl. Okay. Tasha told me, all right, that she's having an emotional relationship with your man, Damon. Okay. And Letitia's like, I just want to know the truth. What is going on with you and Damon? Tambra says there is no way there can be an emotional connection with Damon and Tasha because she has seen the text messages. Now, I don't know what the dealings are with Tasha and Damon and why they be communicating in the first place. I don't know what Damon does. I don't know if he uses Tasha's for her decoration services. All I know is that allegedly they had a falling out about 8 months ago. And at that point in time, Damon told Tambra to read the messages. She read the messages and did like any law-abiding citizen and kept scrolling upwards to find out if there was more messages. And she says there was nothing to their message thread that would indicate any type of emotional relationship with this woman. Okay. Now, Latesha says, well, all of this seems fishy because why don't you ever bring Damon around the group? Okay. And I noted in my conversation that I'm in my text, not my text message, my notes, that this conversation seems very tense because Latesha just wants to know what's really going on with her and Damon. And to be quite honest with you, I really want to know what's going on with her and Damon because here's the thing. Let's have a real ponderosa. In my mind, I'm looking at this as though it were my friend, right? So let's say my friend has been with someone on and off for the past 15 years or so, right? And then my other friend tells me, well, I be kicking it with this man sometimes too, right? Now, I got two friends telling me two different things about a man that seems very inconsistent in both of their lives. That's number one. Okay. Number two, for me, I do not blame Tambra for wanting to be married to this man before she commits to having a baby, which she does want. But also in my mind, if he is telling her that he wants a baby, the parents have already given him the blessing to go ahead and get married, and the clock is ticking on this situation. Why have you not just bought her a ring, proposed to this woman, and gotten her y'all get this whole marriage situation out the way because you both want a child, you both want to be married, and you both want to get married before you have the child. So from the outside looking in, okay, I can understand why Latesha is confused because as a viewer, I am confused as well. Because here's the thing: if you told me that if Tambra had said to me, "Oh yeah, that's just my friend. We kick it from time to time or whatever like that," then I really wouldn't have no confusion about it. But the confusion I think comes from the rest of the cast. Like, well, if you guys have these intentions towards each other, what is preventing you from moving forward? And I think as viewers, that's what we are not seeing here. Okay, that's the problem, at least for me, because reality TV and real life as well is actually a game of show and tell. Okay. And in reality TV, you can't just tell me that you have a situation. You have to show me that there's a situation. And as of right now, I don't understand the evidence that I'm being shown about this relationship, whatever it may be. Okay? Period. Because I know for me, I'm not going to just kick it with you for 16 years and this ain't going nowhere. That's not how my life is set up, okay? We're not gonna be playing this game for 16 years. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Now, I don't know if this is a thing where we every time we in between somebody or something like that, we gets together. But otherwise, to me, it ain't really making no sense. And for me, to be honest with you guys, I would tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if a man, for me in general, my belief is this: if a man really wants you, there is nothing in this world that he will not do to be with you. Okay. So for me, I don't understand what is going on here. All right. I don't understand. The other thing I don't understand is, and I'm gonna get to it in a second. Okay. It's another thing I don't understand. Um, Tambra goes on about not wanting to be a baby mama, which I can get. Okay. Um, and she asks, Latesha if she's still going to support her in whatever she decides to do. Latesha says, girl, I'm going to support whatever you telling me right now. Fine. But in her confessional, Latesha's like, I'm not buying none of this. I don't understand it. So then Tambra, in another scene, we leave that scene, and Tambra stops by her grandmother's house, and Damon stops by. They talk about continuing the legacy, of her family and marriage and the baby. And I'm writing in my notes, well, why not just go on ahead and get married? What is the problem? Well, I mean, what is it? Okay. She even wanted to put the IUI procedure on hold until some things change between the two of them. She wants to be married first before they have any babies. And then she brings up, well, I hate to bring this up, okay? But Latesha is saying that Taisha the decorator is saying that you and she have an emotional relationship. So then we get Damon and Tambra sitting in the chair, okay? And when I say the chair, I really get that from Karen Hewitt because she says the chair. The chair is basically the confessional chair, right? And so the producer says, what's going on with you and Taisha? Apparently, the producer was laughing or giggling when he or she said, I can't remember who it was, if it was a male or a female, and it really don't matter. But when the producer says, what's going on with you and Taisha, he's like, why are you laughing about it? Why are you laughing? Next question. Next question. And we end on that cliffhanger. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why does it feel like he is so defensive about it? I mean, to me, I get if you being accused of having an emotional affair with somebody, I can understand why you might be a little annoyed by it. But at this point in time, by the time that was filmed, that moment that she asked you, and by the time you have to answer that question in a confessional, you should probably be a little bit past it by then. At least well enough to say, ain't nothing going on. Okay. I don't even know where this woman is coming from with this. But it's the defensiveness for me. It's the defensiveness with the producer for me. Like, if the producer's laughing about it, they're probably not even taking the thing seriously. But you got him up in arms, and maybe he's just ultra protective of Tambra. I really don't know. But even Tambra takes the situation lighter than he does, right? Tambra's like, there's no way this is going on. I don't believe it, but I'm bringing this to you because it was brought to me, and I need to go ahead and talk to you about why somebody is saying this. His response to me, it didn't warrant all that. That's just my opinion. Somebody said that. Okay, no, I mean, ain't nothing like that going on. You can check my phone if you want to. Like, I mean, what next? I mean, okay, like, and what? But the whole "why you laughing?" next question. It was like, okay. Now I will say this: when we had the interview with Latrice, when I asked her about this whole situation, she says that she felt like um Damon really loves Tambra. And I believe that could most likely be true. But my problem with the situation is, man, this woman wants to have a baby. You want to have a baby, but she wants to be married first. You say you want to marry her. What's up? I mean, I know you're not on my timeline or nothing like that, but we talking about hers. So what's up? What's the holdup? And it's that very holdup that seems confusing to probably the other ladies, as well as, at least to me, as a viewer. Period. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask her myself. How about that? All right. We'll ask her ourselves. We'll sit down with Tambra for a Ponderosa, and I'm gonna ask her, girl, what's up? All right. We need to know what is up with this situation right here, because it ain't making not a lick of sense. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now listen, y'all know I love y'all. That's the review for Belle Collective Season 2, Episode 5. And with that, we're going to dance our way up on out of here.